late. I'm late by 2 minutes. 2 minutes late. Oh, no. And also, my camera stopped working for some reason, so that was a frustrating thing. But I'm here now. Hello, everyone. Hi. I'm sorry. Terrible stuff. Just appalling. I'm sure everyone will come in and tell me off almost immediately about, my failings as a YouTuber, as an adult, as some form of coach or teacher or educator or anything. 2 minutes. Unbelievable. Not okay. But here I am. As you can see, I'm still perspiring from the pores because it's quite warm out there. And I literally got back from a run and then realized that I had to take some post to the letterbox, mail some post, which is an extra 20-minute run away. So I actually extended my run 20 minutes longer than I usually do, which really put me down. And then this is great. So I reckon I weigh somewhere in the range of about 100 kilos, somewhere around there. And I'm able to do, which is a real big thing for me, 6 pull-ups in a row. At least that's what I achieved today, which made me realize that in one setting, I can do 600 kilos worth of pull-ups, which is really impressive. When you think about it, it's not bad at all. So I'm quite proud of myself, considering there was a time about 5 years ago where I literally could not do one single pull-up. I couldn't do a single one. So I'm proud of myself. Go me. Well done, Dan. I'll take that win over this loss of being late. Let's not dwell on it, though. We won't dwell on it at all. We'll try not to. Today, I don't know what to discuss, but I'm really still hanging on to, because actually my partner and I never discussed the thing about zombies. I'm really hanging on to this element. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Good day, buddy. Hello. He's here. Bounding up the stairs. How are you, my man? You all right? We haven't said hello today because you've been asleep. Welcome to the room. Nope. So for those of you who don't know, he just went, because I'm guessing he just woke up. So he's obviously feeling a little bit groggy. Bless his little cottons. Oh, hi, Abby. Hello. No, it doesn't surprise me that you couldn't find me, to be honest, because what was I going to say? Yeah, I was late. And I'm very sorry about that. Very, very sorry indeed. But I was late. So I do apologize. Not good enough. Not good enough. Now, hang on. I'm looking at a thing here because I ordered something. Yeah. There it is. Look at that. Precisely. I'm gonna have to get that sorted out. I ordered something online and they sent it over to me, but they sent it over in the wrong size. And I'm just not very happy about it because it's like you've sent it over to me like literally 6 sizes too small. It is 6 sizes too small. So I'm gonna actually message them and say, hello, can you please send me another one because this is 6 sizes too small. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. I'll let them know. I do like that. That's lovely as well. But yeah, I'm going to have to get back to them and let them know that they did indeed screw that up. So how's Abby? Very terrible. I know it's terrible. It's very bad. I know. How is Abby though? I've basically, when I went live, I was 2 minutes late, and it was 2 minutes prior. I was like putting on my antiperspirant and stuff, and like just basically getting ready for this. Because as you can see, you might be able to see, I'm still perspiring. I'm still sweating because it was that hard a run. It really was. Hello, here he comes. Hello, Pookie. How's it going? No, you're right. Do you want to say hello to everyone? Go and say hi to Abby at least. He doesn't ever say anything. He just wants to look. There you go. Nothing else. Just there it is. I love it. He's just become a regular on the show. Really, he's just a regular of Dan's Den. Is our cat here, Dexter, our mascot. Oh Jesus Christ, our mascot here. Hello. Oh, I am so void of water and hydration that I think that's going to help me stop sweating, ironically. Oh, excuse me. I just burped in your face. How do you feel about it? You don't care, do you? Oh, your collar's still off. We're going to put that back on again. Oh, dear. Is it? Oh, no. You've been wearing too many collars, mister. His collar's come off because my partner actually doesn't like it very much because it's got a bell on it. So she took it off him. But now he has no collar. But I like the collar. It looks good. She just doesn't like the bell. So I might just take the bell off and then put the collar back on because you still need a collar, mister, because you'll get fleas otherwise, won't you? Yes. So here we go. Fine. And realizing the more books you write, the longer they get. The first book I started at 34 pages, then the second 68, then the third 115, fourth 120, and my book is 35 pages, and they're all unfinished. Yay! Well, do you know that's a progression of writing, right? You know that's the process. Is that what you're doing? Is you're effectively being able to fill in more and more about a story. You're being able to tell a fuller story every single time. So actually, yeah, that's a really good sign because what you're demonstrating is there's a chance you're better at story writing in a way because you're able to put more detail into it. So that's a good thing. That's great news. That's really good to hear. Unless your intention is to write short stories, in which case, but you know, I would say I reckon it would be harder to write one really good short story than it is to write one really good long story. I reckon it's harder because, as I think I explained before, like less is more. And so if you're able to get a really good story written in a very short space of time, then I think that would be, you know, a kind of a flex of your story. This is my only opinion, and I'm sure I'm wrong on this to some degree, but it's my guess because you have to be far more creative with how you use your space, your words, your time, your descriptions, and everything. If you're writing a short story that's going to be really, really good. Whereas because you can write a longer story, you've got so much time to go into the detail of things, and you have the room to go into the detail of character, and you can have these little moments that you wouldn't be able to have time for in a short story. All these little things. So I reckon, yeah, is that. But also, yeah, like you're still being able to put more information into stories, as long as you're not spoon feeding people. You think you just get bored of one thing after a few weeks and go, okay, let's start something new, something fresh, something amazing. Because if I don't get that down on paper, I'll forget about it. Yeah, well, you know what? Abby, in all honesty, right, I'm somewhat of a creative myself, but actually that is a very creative mindset. That really is a creative mindset that you've got there, and that's great. Like stuff that isn't finished is fine because it's yours. So why does it matter that it's not finished? It's completely up to you whether or not you want to finish something. And what you'll find is you're going to continue this process. You'll continue to start things, stop things, start things, stop things, until one day you start something and you finish it, right? That's it. That's basically it. So yeah, you might go back to it, but then again, you might never go back to it. And that's fine. That's fine. Everything that you decide to create out of your own volition, out of your own inspiration and motivation, doesn't need to be finished. It's yours. You can do what you like with it, right? You could find a way to add all of these books together. Right? You could go back and finish them. You could, post them in some anthology of books you started writing and never finished. You could do whatever you want with them, right? But it doesn't matter that they're not finished at all, because that genuinely is an element of a creative process. I do this. So I do this in many of my projects. I'll tell you now, I'm doing a project right now where it's available to the public. And it's basically Hey, Vicky, what's going on? Lovely to see you here. The project I'm working on, Abby, is basically an anti-racism project. And it goes over 3 weeks. It's 3 30-minute to 45-minute presentations that I'm doing on anti-racism. Now, I've started developing this project and developing the presentation, but actually I've recognized about 4 or 5 hours in that I want to redesign it because it doesn't land the way I want it to land. So I'm going to start again, but obviously using all the resources that I had before. That's exactly what you're doing here. You're going, right, I'm going to start a story. I love the way it feels. It feels like the right thing to do. I'm going to write this story. And you start writing it until you get to a point where something doesn't feel right. And you're just like, meh. Well, actually, that makes me think about this other great idea. So then you've taken these skills and these understandings you've got of story writing from the previous story and added it to the new one, which means you've got more. And you do that time and time again. And as you let your storytelling ability evolve, you don't maybe realize that it's these minute leaps that you're able to make in your ability to tell this thing. You only came to say hi. Have a good day. Oh, thanks, Vicky. That's kind of you. Well, hello. Lovely to see you. Good to hear from you. Send our regards to Victoria as well, because Veronica, you're Victoria. Don't tell her I said that. Don't tell her I said that. Veronica, send our regards to Veronica. Jesus Christ. Oh, no. We're near the end of it. I'm going to have to grovel next time I see her. I have to grovel. I'm sorry, Veronica. You're not Victoria. You are not your sister. Ah! What's up, Ethan? And bring in the rubber ducks. Quack, quack. We love to see it. So Abby, you're slowly developing. And this is something that, again, is vital. It doesn't matter finishing stories, and you don't have to. I'm pretty sure when I wanted to be a writer, I wrote so many stories. I wrote so much, and I've completely forgotten about them. But I haven't forgotten about what I learned in how to write a story. I haven't forgotten about that. So yeah, keep hold of that for sure. Keep hold of that. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'm really holed up about the fact. So I might actually do this in a second. Because hang on. Because I am really annoyed, to be honest with you, that I waited 2 weeks for these items to arrive, and I'm just annoyed because they sent me the wrong size, and I'm like, no, I'm not having it. No. And it's just taken my attention away. Ethan, how are you, mate? How are you doing today? What's going on with you, eh? What's happening? Talk to me. Tell me things. Distract me from my plight. Distract me. Someone say something. Stuck here. Hang on, right. Here we go. Right. Okay. 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 Someone. Oh, here we go. Finally, spiders, tree. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Saved me. Well done, everyone. Good work. As soon as I come offline, I'm going to deal with this because it's just bugged me. So for those of you who don't understand, I waited 2 weeks. I ordered some clothes online. I waited 2 weeks, and they've arrived, and they're in the wrong size. And I'm just a little bit annoyed because I'm like, they're not only is it the wrong size, it's literally 6 sizes too small. 6 sizes too. How do you send something that's 6 sizes too small? I'd be all right if it was like a little bit here, a little bit there, but 6 size. Come on, guys, seriously. So yeah, I'm gonna get that sorted out. Yeah. So Ethan, yeah, how are you, mate? How you been? How's it going? What's been new in your world? What's happening? What's taking place in your current world and universe? Speak to me, babes. What's going on? Tell me, babes. Yibba-dib-bib, yibba-dib-rib, ribba-dib-bib, yibba-dub-dub-dub, yibba-dub-dub, yibba-dub-dub, yibba-dubba-dub-dub-dub, bib, yibba-dub-dub, yibba-dub-dub. I'm really not present today. This is terrible. I'm sorry. No, this is really bad. I need to behave myself. It's because, like, it's because I think it's because I left my run too late. It's my own fault. I left my run far too late, and it's left me distracted because it meant that all the stuff that I really could have done before I came online, I can't do now. And so my mind is constantly drifting elsewhere, and it's not okay. So I apologize. This is not good. This is very bad, and I apologize. My attention is yours. The phone is gone. I can deal with you later. Right. Hello. Right. So I've come off your bike. Got to cut my knee, cuts all over my back, and a 1/4 inch hole in my elbow. What the hell? All you need is a yellow hat. Thanks, Abby. What? How did that happen, Ethan? Bloody hell! Were you wearing? Well, this is a silly question because it sounds like such an adult question. This is such a parent question. But were you wearing protective gear? Because it doesn't sound like you were, because all of the areas that you wear protective gear have been damaged. So I'm wondering if you were wearing protective gear, Ethan. Literally, I've got, when I went rollerblading for the first time, I was aware you had no jacket on and jeans. Well, there you go. I remember the first time I went rollerblading, because I learned this from snowboarding as well, obviously, that if you don't have protective gear, I learned this the hard way. If you don't have protective gear, oh my God, concussion is a real thing. I never got it, thankfully, but I did meet someone who did. I knew someone who did in Canada, and oh Lord, no. That was the first sign when I was like, yeah, I should definitely get a helmet. And then, when I went rollerblading as well, I didn't take a fall. No, I did take a fall, but it wasn't that bad. But it was a reminder. It was like, oh yeah, this is why people wear protective gear. So I picked up some of that as well, because mate, I don't care. Like I've said this before, right? I know it looks gimp, and I know that you'll see like skateboarding videos and rollerblading videos of people not wearing protective gear and all that jazz. But what's always missing from these videos, even in snowboarding as well. Actually, no, in snowboarding, I do see the videos. I think they do in skateboarding as well, is the injuries you endure. And I think it's really a matter of risk, because you never hear about the people who get injured and can't do their sport anymore. You very often hear about the people who get injured and just hop back on their bike or their skateboard and just keep going. And it's like, oh, wow, what a legend. But it's like, yeah, but that's not what happens every time, right? It's a real risk, man. So I think definitely invest in a helmet. Get your safety gear on, especially if you're trying to be a motorcyclist, buddy. Like that is essential, absolutely essential. And again, I've seen people out there motorbiking and motorcycling or whatever you want to call it, and on their mopeds or whatever with what was it? You did say what? Sorry, I can't remember what you did say. But I've seen these people without like wearing like jeans or jean shorts, like t-shirts. And all I think of, and it literally makes my whole spine tingle. It makes me just, cringe so hard, is when I see those images of people who have to get skin grafts because as they slide along the tarmac on their bare skin down to the bone, it's basically like someone's running an infinite long cheese grater along their skin. And I just, oh God, I couldn't imagine it's not even the pain. It's just the thought of it. Just literally having your skin scraped away. The pain must be something. And just the thought of it. And then of course, the skin graft afterwards, because of course then you'd have to take skin off somewhere else on your body, notably more likely your butt or something like that. And you'd have to, oh Jesus. Nah, man, please, but get some protective gear for the love of God. I can't remember what you did say, so you'd have to remind me. Sorry, Ethan. But I hope you're okay. I do hope you're okay. Did you type you fell off your bike on here? Yeah. He did. He wrote it off. Or did you email that to Dan? Because that would make sense, because it doesn't say you fell off your bike on here unless I'm blind. He literally said 3 comments before you said, no, in fact, the comment before Abby, you said, all you need is a yellow hat. Ethan said, I've come off my bike, got a cut on my knee, cuts all over my back, and a 1/4-inch hole in my elbow. Oh, my Lord. No. When is this going to stop? What are you talking about, Twigsy? Are you talking about coming here early? Because you've actually arrived early again. Earlier. You said, no, don't say early. Early is you showing up at 11:45 or 11:55 or before we start. Don't act like you're early, because Abby was here 2 minutes after I started. Ethan rolled in about 4 minutes or 5 minutes after I started. You're not early. You're still late. So you're earlier. Let's be honest here. You're not early. You don't turn up to anything 20 minutes late and be like, well, looks like I got here early. No, you don't do that. So come on. No. He doesn't say, oh, I've got it here. Okay, well, Ethan did say he came off his bike. And he's injured himself. So, yes. There you go. There you have it. There you have it. How Sorry. What on earth? Excuse me, everyone. There we go. Look at all these comments. We love to see it. I was waiting for Ethan to say something. Oh, he's just throwing a duck down again. Okay, fine. All it's on yours was bananas. Brilliant. I only called it early because Abby said early. Right. Okay. Oh, well, Ethan's comment did come through. I saw it there. Abby changed the chat to live instead of top chat. Sometimes YouTube censors stuff for no reason. Oh, there we go. Problem solved. That's what it is. Okay, then. Okie dokie. There we go. Fine. Good stuff, everyone. Well done. So proud of all of you. What was I going to say now? What was I going to say? We were talking about something. I don't know. Well, yeah, protecting ourselves effectively. Protecting ourselves. I guess it also speaks to this element of, comfort over safety or style over safety and stuff like that. Comfort, fashion over comfort, fashion over practicality, all these things. Because, yeah, I think it's important that that's looked at. I need help, guys. You need to give me something to talk about because I'm literally out. I'm done. I'm really struggling to think of something to talk. I'm literally empty. I'm empty on ideas of what we can discuss today. Today is honestly a day where I'm kind of like, I don't know. We could do a quiz. We could do a fun quiz for fun. Hang on. Let's see what quizzes we have. Because otherwise, yeah, I'm really out. I don't have anything for the table today. Also because as well, today I've got a lot I need to get done. There's a lot going on. And so my mind, I think that's actually the problem, is my mind is so focused right now, not on what I need to do with you, but with everything else that I need to do. So I'm currently like, my mind is half kind of over somewhere else. And it's unfortunate because I am, I'm just distracted perpetually, like constantly distracted right now. So all I'm thinking is I just want to, right. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna just throw us into this. So going out your bike later to try and go knee on the floor on the same corner where you came off. Okay, then. All right. Just make sure you put protective gear on, really. Make sure you give it a go. Right. Has anyone else here not done their GCSEs and is going to absolutely fail this year because you are? Obviously, I've done my GCSEs, but I have no clue where I am going in life. I didn't get to go do them properly because quarantine. I'm confused about that, Twigsy, because I'm pretty sure. Oh, hang on. It's June. I think. What is going on? Oh, God, you know what? I've completely forgotten about that. My God, yeah, because technically now is the time that the exams will be taking place, isn't it? I'm not sure what's going on with that, you know. Hang on, what is taking place? Let me actually look into that instead. So, GCSEs 2020. What's taking place? On 18th of March 2020, the Secretary of State of Education announced that the summer 2020 GCSE, AS, and A-level exams would be cancelled. Excuse me. They'd be cancelled in order to help fight the spread of coronavirus, and that students due to sit exams would be awarded a grade based on an assessment grade that they have been predicted, I believe. I think that's what it's going to say. Yeah. They would have been most likely to achieve had exams gone ahead. On 23rd of March, in a written statement to Parliament, Yeah, so basically you're just getting graded on predicted grades. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, they've been cancelled. I thought so. And Abby, I'm going to say this to you, as I said to another chap on a phone call earlier in the week. You really don't need to know where you're going in life. You don't need to know. That's really not the most important question you need to ask yourself, because for some people, honestly, it might be given to them. For some people, they do figure it out. But I don't actually think a lot of people figure out what they're going to do in life until they've actually experienced some of life. I think actually, honestly, Abby, it's impractical to think about what you're going to do in life when you don't know what life has to offer. You can't. It's impractical. What you can do is exactly what you're doing right now. You're drawing, you're writing, you're being creative, you're using your time really well, right? You're doing what you enjoy effectively. And that's it. For trying to figure out what you're doing in life when you're at the ages between, well, actually anything before, I want to say 25 is, to me, a waste of time. And even, actually, no, never mind 20, but 30. Before 30, if you're giving yourself grief because you don't know what you want to do in life, you're wasting your time. Because up until 30, and I really do strongly believe this, up until 30, you don't have to have anything figured out. In fact, up until 30, you're still trying to figure life out. And even past 30, you're still trying to figure life out. The reason I say that is because at least by 30, you'll have at least a decade of being able to work, pay rent, go out partying if you want, invest in hobbies, go traveling, do all sorts of things. And you have the freedom to do that. You can do that to your heart's content. But spending time trying to figure out what you want to do with your life takes away from that, because it stifles you from kind of going, oh, I'll just go to this festival over here. Oh, I'll just travel to this country for a weekend. Oh, let me see what's going on in this part of the country. Let me, dabble in politics for a little while. Let me dabble into more art for a little while. Let me just try this out for a try. And I think trying to figure out what you want to do in life is such a waste of time. What you can do is figure out how you would like to spend your time now, right? That's it. Just figure out, and fine, you hate planes. Okay, great. Don't get on a plane then. Get a ferry across to France. That's it. Get a ferry across to France. You don't need to get on planes. And if you're afraid of ferries, then fine, just travel around England. Scotland is amazing. Scotland is a beautiful place. You've still got the whole of Wales to look at. And England's actually, it's an island, but it's still relatively large enough for you to venture around and see other cities, right? And just see what else is out there. But the point is that you trying to figure out what you want to do in life when you don't know what life has to offer means you're not going to be able to figure out what you want to do in life, because the answer is not available for you to pick yet. So you're going with what you have, which is right now writing and art. And those two things can be the fundamental things that you stick to, right? That can be it. But that's fine. That is absolutely fine. Hang on, I'm just going to check. I swear I heard the front door. 1 second. Don't worry, Dexter. Yeah. So literally, you worrying about what you're going to do with life is fine. And Twigsy, actually, I'm going to say this in confidence, okay? Failing your GCSEs is also not the end of your life, because I know 2 people, and I know this that might not seem like a lot and blah, blah, blah. I know 2 people who, and I'll actually confess, one of which currently works at the college, who took their GCSEs in, I think, their late 20s and another in their 30s, right? They went back and did them again. That's it. Because right now, what could be said is that at that time, they did not feel that their GCSEs were the most important thing in the world. But what's important to recognize is that them failing their GCSEs is not the end of the world either. It's really not. It only becomes the end of the world if we make believe that it is the end of the world. And I understand that there's a lot of pressure on people, young people right now, to be like, oh, how are you going to get a good job? And how are you going to have a good life? And blah, 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 blah. And it's such a fallacy. It is such a fallacy. Because actually, Twigsy, what I will say is, you have a great level of intellectuality inside of you in terms of how you explore identity, how you understand your own identity's history, how you're developing on that. That is hugely intellectual, and actually a level of intellect that a lot of people don't even bother looking into. But because you're not being graded on that, you don't recognize how much of a success you are in that area of research, investigation, and knowledge. You don't. So you're thinking, oh my God, I'm going to fail GCSEs. So what? You're still very smart. You're still very, very intelligent. And that, so yes, GCSEs absolutely are important, and they do help things, but they are not the be all of and end all of your success in life. They are not. They are not. Okay. People will go back to do their GCSEs because they may not recognize that those GCSEs, if they want to study further, those GCSEs will help them do that. Yes, because of course, it will take them onto A levels and AS levels. But you will still be able to do technically what you're doing right now in terms of yourself and your life and so on and so on. In the way that you put yourself forward, in the way you articulate yourself. I would say that if you're able to articulate yourself in the real world as you can here, trust me, oh my God, you come across so intellectual here that if you were able to bring that into the real world and have this conversation comfortably with people, and I'd be happy, of course, to work with you on that. Absolutely happy to work with you on that. Then you actually would have a lot more advantages than you're giving yourself credit for, right? So bear that in mind. A lot of students, and it's kind of, if it does frustrate me when students give up when they talk about the GCSEs, like, well, I guess I'm going to fail and da da da. And the frustration isn't the fact that it's like, well, you haven't tried, or you don't know that yet. It's the fact that I can tell that behind that element, you're in this belief that you failing. I know that behind this feeling of failing GCSEs, it's almost this essence of I'm a loser and I'm stupid, and that's the frustrating part. Because the GCSEs have become a definition of a person's intellect when they're absolutely not. Ethan, I don't know if you're still here, but I would say this. In fact, all 3 of you are a big brain. You absolutely are a big brain. Seriously. I really, really mean that. In all the time that we've done this, I haven't just turned around and gone, you're really smart, have I? For no reason whatsoever. But actually, all of you have your intellect. And this is something, again, that I believe. Ethan knows a hell of a lot about bikes. He understands bikes to a science, and he will continue to grow and understand bikes to a science. Does that make him dumb? Absolutely not. No, you could say he's a savant, right? He's a genius at bikes and will continue to be so as long as he's always got access to learning about these things. That's his passion. Abby, for example, you're currently developing this incredible skill of writing until you want to stop. Same with art. Until you want to stop, the more you do it, the better you get at it. And again, you're developing this intellect in this specific skill. Okay, a skill, and this is the part that bothers me. All of you are developing a skill and a talent that is not being graded. All of you are. You've got this thing that is not being graded. And so what is crap about it is that you're not getting a piece of paper that says, I know how to learn. But ignoring that only means that when it comes to writing CVs, when it comes to applying for jobs, you would miss out the fact that maybe they're going, oh, what are your GCSEs? You may say you don't have any, but you can say, well, instead of, you wouldn't say I don't have GCSEs. You can say, I spent time studying yada, 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 right? I spent time studying identity. I spent time studying trans history. I spent time studying gender. And I learned these things through this. I understood all of these things through this. Because actually what GCSEs are really for, and this is the crux of it, is a message that says, I am capable of learning. That's all that it says. And to what degree? Obviously, an A might suggest that this person is very capable of learning, they're fine. A D or an E or whatever says that this person can learn, but with resistances, right? But just because there's no qualifications, that does not mean that a person cannot learn. All of you have demonstrated right here that you are all capable of learning. You're all capable of it. So if you're able to put that forefront to anyone who's looking to employ you, anyone who's looking to hire you for anything, then you're able to say, I can absolutely learn. Yes, I can. I can learn, because you all have, which is effectively why you're able to be here having this conversation with me, right? So I think that's the part that I think is frustrating for me personally, when I hear people kind of give that narrative of, I'm going to fail, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, that doesn't mean you're going to fail in life. That does not mean you're going to fail in life. And in fact, all of you are succeeding at the things you want to succeed at. Every single one of you. Because you want to. That's the simple case of it. And there's no other ways of wording it. There's no other way of putting anything about it. All of you are succeeding at the things you want to succeed in. And that's notable. That cannot be denied. All right? So, yeah. Okay. Good. Mm-hmm. And that's the funny thing, though, Twigsy. Again, I think this is something that needs to be unlearned. I think, has Ethan gone? Ethan's gone. Ethan, he's still there because you're not here. Are you there because you're not here? This is the other problem, though, Twigsy, and this is what can happen: is this message of get this right, get this right, get this right, get this right. If we're not getting it right, of course, we focus on that. That's where our focus takes us. It takes us to this place. It takes us to this place of if we're not getting it right, then we're failing at everything and we blow it out of proportion, right? But your incapacity, as you word it, your incapacity to understand maths is not your failing at everything. And you say, you think that you're stupid because you were getting bad at maths. And that's exactly the problem. Same to you, Abby, as well. We think that because we can't get one thing right, that for some reason we're getting everything wrong. And that's not true at all. I like, for example, I wasn't very good at physics. Or was it chemistry? Chemistry. I sucked at chemistry. Chemistry and biology and history. I sucked at that. I sucked at that so bad. But English literature and language, and maths, I really enjoyed. I was quite good at them. I didn't have to put a lot of effort into those things, right? But if I'd have taken that narrative of I suck at chemistry and biology and physics, and I'd taken that in the way that you've taken maths, Twigsy, then I indeed would be telling myself right now, I'm stupid. I'm completely stupid. I can't do anything, da-da-da. But I held on to that sliver of recognizing that actually there were some things that I could do and I was good at. And I held on to that, and that allowed my self-esteem to at least sustain itself until I was on a platform to build on it. But make sure that you're aware of the things you're good at. And please, please, please play this back to yourself, all of you, you too, Abby, to really listen to what I'm saying here, because it's very true. It's very true. And everything that you're telling yourself right here, for example, Abby saying you feel like a loser and you always do. And Twigsy, you saying you feel stupid and stuff. I need you to listen to this back, because what I'm telling you, it might sound like just another adult trying to perk you up and make you feel better. I would not BS you. I don't think once I have ever lied to you, right? I don't think once I have ever felt the need to just kiss your ass for the sake of doing it. And also, I'm not even saying, oh no, you're good at maths. You're just lying to yourself. If you say you're bad at maths, I'm not going to argue that. But what I am going to argue is the fact that you're your perceived lacking in math ability does not negate your ability to do other things well. Right? It does not get in the way of your ability to do other things well. And the things that you do well, you need to pay attention to. You really want to. Right? Yes, you might suck at something. We all do. We all do. Dexter sucks at being clean and smelling all right. He sucks at not dribbling. He's cleaning himself now. He heard me, clearly. Hello, Pookie. Right? I suck at being on time sometimes. I do. I suck at being on time sometimes. But does that mean that I don't get to be good at anything else? No, there are things I'm very aware I'm good at. So I use those as my strengths. But I really, really, really hope you're hearing me here and understanding this. It'll take time to understand, but please, please, please take that on board, right? Take that on board because you have strengths and you are absolutely big brain individuals. Abby, that's you too. So don't think you're just pointing at Twigsy and I'm pointing at Twigsy. That's you too. You are a big brain individual. Okay. So just allow that. Just imagine, pretend for a moment that you are actually smart and intelligent and then see how you move. I even challenge you to do it for a day. Pretend for a day that you are indeed intelligent and smart and that you're not stupid. That's a challenge. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, no, I wouldn't even last a minute. No, do it. We're all big brain. Thank you for calling me a young adult because that is how I feel. But I'm definitely, in terms of my age, I'm definitely a full-fledged adult. There's no arguments. You are the snack. Welcome the tree. Welcome Ethan the tree. Ethan the tree. Where'd you go, Ethan? You left for a moment. What happened? I'm old, but not old. I mean, to you guys, I'm old. To you guys, I'm ancient. I'm like one of those ancient totem poles you find in native Indian burial grounds, Native American burial grounds, natives burial grounds. They're neither American nor Indian. They're natives. Let's stop it. Oh, your Wi-Fi's playing up. Okay, well, welcome back. I have 45, a totally young adult. I'm 45. Imagine, my God. Imagine. 40. You reckon I'm 45? Okay, I'll take it. I'll allow that. I'll allow it. Because 45 for me feels like a very exciting year. You don't know, but I have 45. Yeah. I'll go with that. I'll run with it. 45. How do I feel at 45? I still feel at 45, I'm not going to have changed much. I do feel that. I feel like 45, I'm still going to be like this. Right, maybe a little bit more mature, maybe a little bit more, maybe tired, because of course by then my plan is to have children, absolutely, and more than one. So by 45, I'll probably have a little 10-year-old or something like that. But yeah, 45. No, maybe 35. Okay, then, cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you, Abby. You just keep guessing. It's fine. I love how you're guessing now because I said I might have a 10-year-old when I'm 35. Which, ooh. It does sound like an auction. 33, 35, 45, 36, 34, I'm going to get 34, I'm going to get 34, I'm going to get 34. 69, 40, 20, 69, 40, 20, I'm going to 69, 40, I'm going to get 69, 40, 20. It's the best auction ever. Don't put your butt on my stuff because, please. Don't you meow at me, mate. I'm just trying to get my stuff from underneath you. Honestly, he is such a queen, this one. He really is. Sorry, this is bothering me again because my brother, I'm really proud of him. He's actually donating blood for coronavirus research. And what's important, why are you all emailing me? Oh, I see. Okay. You're welcome. Oh, right. Bloody hell. Okay. Cool. Wow. Blimey. Okay. My brother's donating blood. He's donating blood, and I just say, it's important because he's biracial. It means that his blood actually is more important because there's better chances of being able to do research for the impact of coronavirus on Black and brown people. So him donating blood is actually really, really, really valuable. So I'm just really proud of him, and he's just sending pictures of his needle in his arm and stuff. Just yay. Abby, yes, you're correct. Well done. You got it right. I'm somewhere between the ages of 31 and 40 years old. Excellent. Also, I've never understood why it's so vitally important to learn the square diameter length of a Russian triangle. All I've ever needed in life is the very basic maths and very occasionally timetables. The fuck do I need geometric shapes for, especially if I'm doing theatre for a career? Congrats to your brother. Yeah, thank you. So actually, Twigsy, there is actually a justification behind this, and I know a lot of people say, what's the point in me learning this? I never need to use it. And here's what I'll say about this, because it's, I hope you understand, right? There is genuinely a reason. There is genuinely a reason. And it lies in the simple fact that the ability to do math is important, in every day-to-day life. And like you said, the ability to add, subtract, multiply, those things can be seen, because technically, if we're, and this is really important, if we're able to manage our money better, it will involve some form of math. Simple as. And not in terms of doing it off our head. We can use a calculator, but we still need to understand how to use a calculator to calculate things, right? So we still need to understand percentages, multiplication, division, and so on and so on and so on. We need to understand that. And the better we understand that, the easier it is to do stuff like that, right? So how do we make sure that we really, really, truly understand it? Well, what we do is we make simple math even simpler by comparing it to more complex math. So let me put it this way. For example, Twigsy, you're wanting to go into theatre, right? You're wanting to go into theatre. Now, if you were to stick to the very basics of theatre and you only did performances that required basic level of singing, basic level of dance, basic level of drama, yada, 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 it remains in a very amateur level of performance, amateur level of theatre. However, and this is something that I learned, right? This is something that I learned, is I started off doing theatre as well. And yes, I did the amateur stuff and so on. But the more I started to learn about drama, about acting, about the science of singing, the science of dance, the importance of stretching, the importance of strength, the importance of calisthenics strength, the importance of enunciation, the importance of mouth position and mouth movement when singing, suddenly all this extra stuff, which can be deemed as unimportant and unnecessary and, so on, to the basics of theatre, actually empower our ability to do theatre better and empowers our ability to perform basic theatre more impactfully, right? With more impact. And that's exactly the same for maths. So you might get multiplication and division, right? But actually what it means is if you're able to understand, because actually what you need to understand you're doing is you might understand multiplication and division, great. But what being able to do geometry, being able to do quadratic equations actually empowers your ability to understand adding, subtracting, multiplication, division even better. And that's the purpose of it. That's why it's not so that one day you go out and you're driving and you're getting to a junction and you're starting to do like quadratic equations in your head to figure out when you should start braking. No, not at all. But it means that when it comes to doing multiplication and division, you're able to do it that much faster and that much easier. Just literally allowing the flow of your life and your thoughts and the calculations you make in your head just that much easier. That's all. That's what it's about. That is what it's about. So you'll be able to see people who have come to understand advanced maths, look at these kinds of mathematical equations, division and subtraction and so on, as very, very basic. They can do it like this, no problem whatsoever, right? Whereas people who don't get to that level actually it takes them time to do what is deemed, the basics of math. It takes them a little bit extra time. So the importance of it is not because you're going to apply it at any point in your life, unless you choose a career that does indeed directly apply it. But what it does is it empowers your ability to do the basic things easier. That's why it's done. That's literally what it's done for, right? And it's the same with English. And I would argue this in English, right? Well, you say you barely understand maths, but you're putting yourself down again because you've literally said you understand division and multiplication. So you do understand math. You're just getting in your own way of understanding math. That's what I'm seeing right there. That's all you're doing. It's the same for English. And actually, Twigsy, this will be important for you. This is another way of seeing it. You say, if you're able to break into this part of it, and I think I understand what you're saying now, actually, you know why you need it, but you don't understand the math that you understand why it's there, but you don't get the math itself. I think I understand what you're saying now. Pardon me. So that there. Yeah, I get it now. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, I'm on the level. I get it. Sorry, pardon me. Excuse me, I misunderstood. I'll stop. Yeah. But again, you have math tutors, you have people who can support you on that. They literally are people out there who'll be able to help you. There's YouTube videos, there's loads of resources that you can go to. I'm not saying you haven't done that, but keep looking out, because the beauty about maths is that there's always a way that it can be resolved. There's always a way that it can be figured out for you to come to an understanding of it. And I guarantee one day, if you continue, that one day it'll just bang, it'll just click. And you'll be like, oh, right, I get it now. And everything should eventually start falling into place. Because I know that's the experience of many people going through any process where they're struggling to understand something. Eventually what can happen is their brain will just suddenly click and they'll go, oh, I get it now. And that could be, you're struggling to understand it because what's taking place on a neurological level is that your brain is just struggling to make the connections that make it make sense. That's it, right? Your brain is struggling to make the connections make sense. It's not that it can't, it's just that it's having to work a little bit harder to get there. That's all it is. And so as long as you persist, give it a chance, continue to give it a chance and find different ways for it to work. And eventually, bang, it'll click. I've completely ignored Ethan and Abby here. So Abby, you said, because maybe you'd stare in a movie where you were a geometry genius. Not stare, what is wrong? Well, we're typing today. You're tired. Oh, star. Because maybe you'd star in a movie where you're a geometry genius. Yeah, you never know. You never know. You could end up being like one of those mathematical geniuses. Who knows? But all of this applies to you as well, Abby, of course. Anywhere where you feel like you're just like, I just can't. It's a case of really exploring and recognizing where you actually can. And I'm familiar. And this is the thing, everything you're experiencing and everything you're saying is very common. And I think that's another reason that I get a little frustrated when I hear it, because it's like, this is a cycle that I'm very familiar with. It's a cycle I'm really, really, really familiar with. Every generation has its group of people who go through a serious bout of what's the point? I'm stupid, and I hate it because I'm like, then the risk becomes either people come out of that mindset and start living the best life they ever had, which is of course what I want for people, or they don't. And so this common behavior of, I'm dumb when you're not, when you're actually big brain, means that, and it really, I get very upset and very passionate about it, because I'm like, by saying you're dumb, you're ignoring the very things that could make your life better, that could make your life great, that could make you happy, that could let you like chill out with yourself. But because of this narrative that we're given of, you must succeed, you got to get this, your life will be over if you don't pass your GCSEs, you got to be smart, you got to figure out what you want to do with life. All this pressure put on you then doesn't allow you to simply take the moment before it hits, before that kind of depressive phase kicks in, for you to go, hang on, I've got this to love. I'm just going to love this. That's it. Doesn't matter if I don't know that. It really doesn't matter. And I have experienced young people who've been able to get there, and I love it. It made me so happy. There've been young people who've been able to understand that and dug into it and focused on that and made that it. And I love that. That's great, because it means that they're going to be able to pass over this phase, this very common phase of young people going through this thing of I'm dumb and stupid, this low self-esteem thing, which I know is drilled into them. I don't think people just naturally develop such low self-esteem. I think it's drilled into them because, again, it's this pressure of what, I'm not doing what is asked of me. I'm not doing what is demanded of me. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing in order to achieve anything in this life. But then you ignore all the things that you are doing that are actually going to be part of your success in life. And it really bugs me. It really, really gets on my nerves, because now here we are, both of you, two people who have a skill, a talent, a hobby, a passion at this point in time that you spend your time with voluntarily, voluntarily. No one has to tell you to do it. You do this, right? And again, I'm not even joking. There are billion-dollar industries in place right now that are set up to help adults do exactly what you two are already doing, and Ethan as well. I'm not joking. Billion-dollar industry set up to help adults do, and I'm not exaggerating, do exactly what you are doing right now. Because adults lose that vision of recognizing that there was something that they loved, that they didn't need any push, any asking, any demand to do. These were things that developed skills, things that developed talent, things that developed intelligence, that they just did, and they did not have to be asked to do it. And because we didn't value it, and because we didn't grade it, you see it as wasted time, and you think that you're stupid. And then you grow up and you find a way of paying someone or following someone on Instagram or going to seminars and groups to reclaim that joy that you lost, because no one told you straight up that what you're doing right now could be the very thing that leads you to the happiest life you could think of. And you're busy sat here going, I'm a loser. And it breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart. Because it means that all this time you're putting in here, this valuable, beautiful time that you have a passion in, that you care about, that you're investing in, it's gone. And it literally, this could be the key. This could be it. And it really, honestly. So again, but don't get me wrong. When I say I'm frustrated, I'm not frustrated. I'm never frustrated at you. It's not your fault. You're not to know. But that's why I work with young people, because of this very thing. I want to give young people the voice and the opportunity to recognize it is not your fault that you feel the way you do. But I really, really need you to see what you're doing well, what you're doing great, what you could be doing, what you don't need any time to be asked to do, and dig into that. That's it. Dig into that. So yeah. Thank you, Twigsy, for at least saying that. Because when you guys go quiet, I'm always like, I don't know whether you're listening, and I honestly I don't, because as you understand, obviously I'm aware you're there, but when no one says anything, I don't know where everyone's gone. I have no idea, because I can't see you, right? So thank you for saying that, because yeah, I also want to know that it lands. I really hope that people get that. I know it's hard. I'm not expecting you to turn around tomorrow and just be like, okay, fine, I'm just going to love everything and blah, blah, blah. No, I just want to at least let you understand that part of what's going on with you, and all of what's going on with you, the good and the bad, right? Yeah. So your comment, sorry, what makes trying to do maths even more difficult for me is a lot of the time, even when I'm trying to focus and learn, my brain says no and just completely shuts down and doesn't let me focus. Yeah. So again, your brain saying no is a natural thing. And this is the other important part of it. And again, Abby, this is related to you as well. Our brain, oh God, how can I make this clear? I'm going to try and make this clear so it doesn't go over your head, right? I'm going to try and make this really, really, really easy. What we say becomes a truth, whether it is or not, right? What we say becomes a truth, whether it is or not. And whether it doesn't need to be said once, it needs to be said time and time and time and time again. And this is actually connected to what I just said. If we are to say that we are a loser time and time and time again, our brain is processing that statement. Our brain is lit because our brain has to process it in order for us to say it. So our brain has to process us being a loser in order for us to say, I'm a loser, right? Which means that our brain is working on the reality that we are a loser, which means our brain will pick up all of the reasons that we are a loser. And in the same vein, it will shut down. If we're not saying I'm not a loser, if we're not saying I'm a winner or I'm great at this or that, it will only confirm and pick up examples of where we are a loser, which means our brain's neurological networks will be full of examples and data and evidence that we are a loser. Now, if there's no evidence to counter that, our brain will eventually believe that we are indeed a loser because there's nothing to counter that. And that's all we've got in our head, right? So when something comes along that counters that, our brain has so many neurological networks that go, I'm a loser, that it won't know how to process anything else because it's like, it doesn't understand this language. It doesn't understand this circumstance where we're not a loser, which is why when someone says you're actually really smart or, you're really good at something, our brain will kind of be like, okay, I don't believe you because it's got so much evidence to the opposite. But we have to work on telling ourselves, and we have to start saying out loud and to ourselves, we're a winner. And we have to, not we're a winner, but we are successful, we're talented, we're smart, anything that makes us feel better. And we have to work to look at the examples of where that is true, no matter how big or small. Because then what we're able to do is not completely delete all the times that we're a loser, but just to counter it. Because then our brain is also processing the same stuff in our head to build up that neurological network in our brain that goes, actually, I am also successful in certain rights. I am also a winner in certain rights. I am also good at certain things. So, Twigsy, this speaks exactly to what you're saying there, right? You say, my brain literally just denies it. But I wonder how long you've been telling yourself you suck at maths. And you can say, but I do, right? And you could say, yeah, but I do. I just don't get it. I'm rubbish at it. That's you confirming again what you've convinced your brain to believe. Your brain now believes that you are bad at math. So whenever you come across a problem with math, your brain is so hardwired into believing you're bad at math that you can think, I want to pass this, I want to understand it, Your brain's automatic response is, no, but we don't get math. We don't do math. So why are you trying this? And it shuts down. And that is quite literally the process that takes place in our heads, right? That's exactly what's gone on. You've convinced yourself now that you cannot do math to the point where you're getting on this ride of wanting to try, and your own brain has become your worst enemy because you have accidentally, you have convinced yourself that you cannot. And your brain now is in that mode of, we don't do math. And I'll tell you now, I've done exactly the same thing. Recently, I've done exactly the same thing. I've convinced myself that I do not like working intensely on something. I've convinced myself that I don't like study. I've convinced myself that I don't like, reading into things and spending hours on something. And so when it came to producing this presentation that I'm going live on next Tuesday, it was really hard because I became very aware that I had to do the very thing that I convinced myself I don't do to get this presentation out there. So I had to tackle my own mind. And I had to tell myself, well, hang on, you say you don't like studying, you don't like listening to doing all this stuff for hours on end. But the number of audiobooks you've listened to, Dan, you must have listened to hundreds of hours of worth of audiobooks and podcasts to educate yourself on this matter. So you cannot lie to yourself and say you do not like studying because you study all the damn time. So don't lie to yourself. And interestingly, what turned around was as I started to go through this process and challenging myself and going, no, you know exactly how to study. You're just afraid of it because, again, it's new grounds for you now. And you're having to force your brain to rewire how it perceives study. I started to learn new things that I didn't know before on this subject matter. And I started to enjoy it. I actually started to be like, oh my God. So now this makes so much sense because of all these other things I understand. This makes so much sense because of all the other things I understand. And suddenly I was able to sit. It actually got to the point where I was enjoying the study so much that my partner had to ask me to stop studying in order to spend time with her. And this was a belief that I had that I really did not like doing research and looking things up and right? And this is exactly the same thing for you, Twigsy. You've got to be aware of the fact that your brain, and again, your brain's not your enemy. Sorry, it might become your enemy, but it's not your enemy. Your brain has just become a pet who's been trained to act a certain way. So you need to retrain it to act a different way to enable you to get past the barriers that you have. That is an incredible life skill, by the way. You learn to do that, and it is a fundamental, powerful life skill, because all you have to do is be aware of your barriers, understand why those barriers exist, and then push the barriers gently, push them until eventually they break, and boom, you're away. Right? It's a really, really powerful skill to have, as demonstrated. Because again, if I hadn't learned this skill, I would want to do a presentation on anti-racism, and I'd want to run courses, which I just found out 3 people have signed up for, which is amazing. I was not, and another 2 more people have signed up. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, it's happening. 2 more people have signed up for, and this is wild. This would not be happening if I did not understand that skill of being able to go, you can do this, but you've convinced yourself you can't, and you haven't tried hard enough doing it. And I'm so glad that this is landing, Twigsy. And by the way, again, I will say, if you really want, we can actually have conversations about this directly, so that you have someone who's there to help you go through these processes, right? Absolutely. Because when you're starting out, it's hard to do it by yourself. This is my job. This is why I'm hired, right? To make sure that students who have certain challenges are able to walk through this process, and we can do that. Abby, I'll extend the same offer to you as well, because technically, while I'm actually just exclusively life skills, your commitment to this live and your commitment to, being part of the conversation and stuff is evident. So if there's anything ever you kind of are like, oh, I would need some assistance on this, literally, drop me an email. Seriously, let me know. And and we'll have conversations moving forward. And I'm really okay with that. Really okay with that. As long as you are too, because you kind of have to be, right? But yeah, please do keep that in mind, Twigsy. Please know that all of this comes from a fact that I, an outsider, am seeing a skill, something magical in both of you that I don't think you're seeing in yourself. And I will not let go of that vision that I have of you, of what you can achieve in your life. I'm not letting go of it. Okay. Because it's kind of like I'm holding on to the reins of this horse that we're both riding until I know that you can take charge of the horse, and then I'm hopping off and, I guess walking away because I don't have a horse anymore. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I know you can ride this horse, but I'm going to ride it until you know how to ride it for yourself. And then you're off. That's what I'm here for. That's what I do. And the horse is your own personal goal. I think you get it. I get it. I don't need to spoon feed you. See, this is what I mean when I say spoon feeding, Abby. I don't need to go into the fuller details of everything. I don't really need to make sure everything's crystal clear, because I think, again, you are much smarter than that. And you get it. So, yeah. This has been nice. Thank you. Yes, the horses. Oh, well, hang on. How did you get the horses? My emojis are really limited on what I can post. Hang on a minute. Oh, excuse me. Oh, no, there they are. Horsey. Oh, a galloping horse. Look at that. A race horse. It's a galloping horse. Horsey. Also, it looks like a horse that's like one of those pincer things that like drops down and picks stuff up. It'd be great if I actually picked something up then, wouldn't it? Be like, damn, where'd that come from? Magic. Magic. We got 20 minutes left of this live. Now, I'm going to offer the Science of Sleep Kahoot quiz, or, we just chilling for the next 20 minutes. What would you like to do? I could read another book. What would you like to do for the next 20 minutes? The choice is yours. And while I do that, I still need to figure out what the hell this is. So, wait. None of this is helpful. Ah, there you are. Gotcha. Superb. Let's see what you guys have said. Oh my god, so many comments. You don't know if you can do hoop. Fine. Some momentum limit. Okay, fair enough. Chill and sleep. Sleep chat. What did you dream about last night? Oh yeah, let's do that one. I didn't dream about anything last night. Didn't get enough time to sleep. Oh, that sucks. Oh, boo, boo. Do you know what we didn't do? We didn't do any more of that meaning of name stuff. We could do that, right? Let's do John, because John's a friend of yours, isn't it, Twigsy? So let's do John. John, I can't remember the name of the website I went to. If I put in this and see what comes up. No, not you. Where is it? Where are you? No. No. Oh, what was it called? I'm trying to. Oh, here we go. Behind the name. There we are. Fantastic. BehindTheName.com. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put in John. Let's look at what John's name is. Right. There's English, Swedish, Norwegian, Danish, and Basque. Oh, okay. Fine. All right then. I love this. Variants, right? Han, Jean, John, Jens, Johan, Johan, John, Jens, again, all the same. Oh my God, there's loads. Biblical Hebrew, Yehochanan, and then Yochanan, or Yehochanan. My God. Ivan, Sean. Wait, what? Oh, okay. But no, they can't be. I don't believe you. Oh. I love how this works. Right, so I'm going to look at the popularity of John. This is without an H, by the way, so I'm very conscious of this. So the popularity of John really rose in the 1960s, mid 1960s, but then it dropped down and it became very, so I know quite a few people called John who were like, 1965 it peaked. With names, which is probably why John has become like a bit of a staple name for middle-aged men, because they're middle-aged and, here we are. But of course, as your friend suggests, they're still doing it out here. They're still doing it. In Iceland, it's actually the most popular. It's number 4 as of 2016. It was very, very popular in Iceland. Let's see if they've got a timeline. And this is over the last kind of decade or so. Okay, interesting. Well, Slovenia, there was a time where it just wasn't done. Just didn't do it. And then in Spain, it suddenly popped up in 2017. It was just like, hi, everyone. John's here. Thanks. Let's see. Right. What was the ratings? Let's go through the ratings. Okay. So John is 89% good name and 11% bad name. I'm just going to make sure I'm not missing any comments. Okay. So dreams. 1 second. I'll go back to this, Twigsy. 1 second. So, unsurprisingly, it's 97% masculine and 3% feminine. John is a very male name, but, I guess you could have a Johan who's a woman. I could picture that, to be fair. It's 56% classic and 44% modern. I don't really see that. I don't see John as a very modern name. I think it's actually really classic, very classic name. 59% youthful and 49% mature. That doesn't really work for me. But that's that's from my own perspective. I'm so used to John being a middle-aged man's name that I'm not. 56% informal and 44% formal. Again, disagree. 44% common and 56% upper class. Okay. 79% natural and 21% urban. Who's? I mean, this must be a cultural thing, man. Because John in England, I'm not seeing this at all. It must be a cultural thing. 68% wholesome and 32% devious. Fair. 59% strong and 41% delicate. 74% refined and 26% rough. 12% complex and 88% simple. That's true, because John, literally, John. It's like Dave, you know? John. 71% serious and 29% comedic, and then 76% nerdy and 24% unintellectual. John is the name of scholars. You let them know, Twigsy. Let your friend know. John is the name of scholars. A classical upper class name of scholars. John. So you did dream the other day, though. You dreamt you were running away from some giant monster thing with someone in this giant maze-like house, and when it caught up to us, I had to sacrifice the other person to escape. So when I heard the flute playing, it was like a warning. What? Wait a minute. What? Where's this flute come from? Warning flute. What am I? What? Amy, where? What flute? What flute playing are you talking about? I'm so confused. What flute? You scared me there. So Twigsy, by the way, I read that basically running away from things in dreams can mean that you're aware that there's something you're not addressing within yourself that needs to be addressed. And I don't know, sacrifice in dreams. Hang on a minute. Let me have a look at that. Let's see. I know that there. Come on, website. I was all over you the other day. Why are you not here? Here we go. Oh my God, this is so long. Okay, let me see if I can just get the gist of this. The surrendering or giving up of some part of yourself or sacrificing the wishes of others for your own purposes. It can sometimes show some sort of decision or point of change where a sacrifice is made in order to grow. It can therefore represent being able to let go of something. The sacrifice shown in some dreams as a human sacrifice may be painful. May refer directly to feeling someone or is or will make you a scapegoat, sometimes connected with decision making. We cannot have things, all things at once. So we are willing to sacrifice one thing for another. I mean, yeah, that's basically, actually, that's it. Did you know this person at all? Do you know this person that you sacrificed, or was it a stranger? Who's trying to call me? And why? Someone has tried to call me, and why? Honestly thinks it could be non-binary, and she reviewed the facts, like how there's nothing directly influencing me, and she said I'm trying to be fully honest with myself, and she said it's very possible. So in the last 10 minutes, just so you know, Twigsy, also I don't remember what they looked like, but I think they were wearing a brightly colored and they were younger than me. Basically, I'll put it this way. There's something you're aware of that you need to address. This is based on the ideas of, you know, dream reading and stuff like that. So from when Abby told us about her dream, which was really fascinating, by the way, Abby, there was a lot that got out of that, and I don't know if you reflected on it so much. But the idea is that running away from something means that you're avoiding addressing an issue within you that you're aware of, but you're not wanting to face up to. And the sacrifice of someone you don't know means that you know that something's going to have to be given up. You don't know what it is, but something is going to have to be given up. If it was someone you did know, then the chances are that literally you're going to have to sacrifice something that means something to you in order to address the thing that's chasing you. You're going to have to give it up. And that's what you're thinking in the deeper part of your head. Something in you is following you around in your mind, and you are aware of it and you don't want to address it, because maybe the reason you need to address it is because you know that actually it means giving up something that means a lot to you. If it's not something, if you didn't know them, then it means giving up something that probably doesn't actually mean a lot to you, but you still don't want to have to do it. Also really interesting. So again, Twigsy, this comes back to this, and I'll say this again because I've said it enough times when you talk about this, right? The experience of gender is very personal, right? It's very personal. I think there's a risk you play in asking someone else whether or not you think someone is non-binary or not, because how could they're giving you their perception of whether or not you're non-binary. Like you said, like, for example, I'll put it this way. You told me you were non-binary. I literally was like, cool. I didn't question it for 1 second because you're telling me that's how you feel. I'm roll with it. Simple as. If you asked me, I wouldn't say, yeah, you come across non-binary, because what I always believe is, again, all of this stuff of how you're seeing this comes from within. To ask someone whether or not you're womanly enough, manly enough, non-binary enough is basically to ask someone what their perspective of you is, which is then, what are you going to do with that information? Is it you being like, I'm not being non-binary enough? Well, what does that mean? I'm not being womanly enough? What does that mean? Are you trying to be those things, or are you trying to be who you are? Because that doesn't come from other people's perception of you. That comes from how you feel about yourself from within. And so asking people whether or not you feel non-binary is, honestly, I understand why. I totally get why, and I respect why. But what you've got to do is question yourself and how you feel about this journey, where you're at in this journey. Because again, what it comes back to, and it seemingly comes back to often, is whether or not the people around you will accept you for how you want to identify yourself. And it's a very vulnerable place. And I get that. It's a very, very vulnerable place. It's a very sensitive place for sure. But I'm going to continue with this element of, you told me you're non-binary. You're non-binary. That's fine. We'll roll with that until you make another decision. It doesn't change you fundamentally. It doesn't change your character. It doesn't change your intellect. It doesn't change your goals. It doesn't change your feelings. It doesn't change anything about you as an individual. It changes nothing. But accepting you for the way you identify yourself changes a lot, right? It changes a whole lot. So you identify as non-binary. That's cool. If you ask me whether or not I validate you that way, or whether or not I think you are or not, is irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. It's a pointless question, in my opinion. I understand why you would do it, but I'm going to come back to that every single time. All you need to do is ask yourself where you are at and how you feel with yourself and the relationship you have with yourself moving forward. I'm always, by the way, whenever you come to me with any kind of questions around this, I'm always going to say that. Always going to say that. Because bear in mind, I also said, if you decide that you're not, cool. Okay, then. You tried it, didn't fit, didn't feel great. Fine. No problem at all. No problem at all. You know? So that's it. Yeah, precisely. She sounds great. She really does sound great. And she sounds like, she's a great support network for you. And that's awesome. That's awesome that you have that person in your life, for sure. I'm really happy for you that you do have that person in your life. That's fantastic. That is good. Because I've got Dexter and I don't have to ask him anything because he can't speak English, but he loves giving me cuddles. Don't you, Pookie? Yeah, yawn it out, buddy. Oh, what's this? What's that? Is this, what have you got in your hair? Oh, God. What is this? Sorry, I think he might have a little scab or something, but no. Doesn't seem to be bothering. He doesn't seem to care. Oh, big yawns. Big yawns. Boop, 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 boop. Don't bite. No biting. Stab it. You stab it, mister. Anyway, sorry. It's okay. I mean, to be fair, with all due respect, you're the one who is speaking, so that's fine. And Abby, I'm sure, is comfortable, just rumbling along and talking about flutes. Because I did ask Abby, bear in mind, what the hell are you talking about with the flute? And Abby never got back to me, so I'm just gonna wait until they do and leave it there. Yeah, that's how I feel about it, because non-binary doesn't really change anything. No, it doesn't. No, but the thing is, honestly, this is the thing that I understand about gender identity, is that within, the only thing that changes fundamentally when we identify a gender is how the world perceives us. And that is where the massive changes take place in our ability to be confident, in our ability to develop a really strong level of self-esteem, our ability to see ourselves as a whole person. It's all external. On the inside, if we feel a certain way and we connect with that, then we still have the same goals, the same dreams, the same emotions, the same reactions to a lot of things. But what the challenge that comes with gender identity is literally the external world and how it sees us. So that's why I understand why you're asking and doing all this investigation, because that's really where the change takes place. You fundamentally, Twingsy, as an individual, your gender identity does not fundamentally change your beliefs, your opinions, nothing. You're still you. None of it changes. You're still you. And that's what I connect with. That's why this unending support is here, because I know that you are always you, no matter how you identify. You are a person, no matter how you identify. So in a way, that's why I'm so fluid in being able to say, you're non-binary? Fine, you're non-binary. Cool. Right? And that's also why I've said previously that I say this carefully, and I hope you understand, I try not to put so much weight and importance on it, because it allows me that fluidity to be able to accept a human being in front of me when I see him. I'm just like, okay, cool, like fine, go for it. Great. You've identified something with yourself. Go off and have the best relationship with yourself that you can. Go out and be in the world. Fantastic. But I am aware that, of course, the challenge is not a person identifying with themselves. It's identifying with themselves in conjunction with the other people out there who, as we've said, will not roll with how you identify yourself. That's the challenge, right? That is the problem. It's an externalized thing that comes into our space. So we want to be able to, and that's again why I say it's so important for you to find that grounded place of how you feel in yourself, so that is always your own ever accessible, safe space of, I know I have me. I know I've connected with me. I know I've connected with the person I want to be. And that will trump any experience I have with any person out there. I have me. And that's where I'm at, right? And that's obviously a place where I often find a lot of my positive energy coming from, because, because I don't fit into a lot of people's ideals of what it means to be a large black man. I don't. And I'm like, and again, I'm okay with that, because it's like, fine, that's your perspective. You know, I'm not sorry that you're disappointed with this, but I love this. I love this person I am. I wouldn't let him go for anything. And that's always what it comes back to. I love me, so I don't need you to. It's fine. So that's why, again, I speak to that for sure. Definitely. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Perfect quote. Very good quote. Absolutely. Absolutely perfect quote. Right. That concludes the day. I've got people to call because they've called me, and I don't know where they've called me from. In fact, what code is that? Hang on a minute. Oh, that's interesting. Why are they calling me from there? Who's called me from there? I'm going to have to give them a call. Yes, I'm calling back. But I'm going to go. Thank you very much for today's episode. Let me think. Do you know what? I'm not going to be live tomorrow. I'm going to go live on Thursday. Okay. I won't be here tomorrow, but I will be here on Thursday. And I will catch you then. But for the next 48 hours, have a wonderful time. Continue this exploration of self. Continue the exploration of your strengths. Remember that there are talents and skills that you are developing, but you're ignoring them because you've convinced yourself that apparently you're dumb and stupid and a loser. Stop that immediately. Stop doing that right now. And start to recognize where you are developing skills that are actually valued out in the greater world. Okay. Just practice it day to day. Just do it every now and then. Give yourself half an hour a day and being like, hang on, even though I haven't finished any stories, Abby, watching, this is you I'm talking to. I may not finish any stories, but I still have written. Actually, wait a minute. Let me just do the math. Here. 34 plus 68 is 112. Plus 115 is 227. Then 347. Then 347. Then 472. 82. So you've still written 482 pages, which is a whole book's worth. That is a whole book. 482 pages you've still written. Yeah? They may not finish them, but you've written 482 pages, which is 482 pages more than the person who wants to be a writer but has not even started because they're too afraid that they might make a mistake. You've written 482 pages. Keep going. And your artwork, again, keep going. I told you, I love the stuff you make. It's great. So keep it up. All right? Never mind about anything else. Those are things you love. Those are things you do without motivation, without being asked, without demand. You do that because you love it. Stay in love with it. Keep developing. Keep getting better. This has been Dan. Remember, we are not part of the peak. I must remember to make sure I put that in here. Where is it? Throw the rubber ducks down. Pow. Everyone, thank you very much for being here. I'll see you in a couple of days. Take care. Much love. Mwah. Bye-bye.